Welcome to the Green Scene podcast, where we explore topics such as the environment, health, and the future of food. I'm your host, Dr. Green, and today we will be talking about the controversial topic of genetically modified organism, also known as GMOs. Joining me is Mr. Peace, an advocate for organic farming and a firm believer in natural foods. Welcome, Mr. Peace.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Green. It's a pleasure to be here and share my perspective.
Well, let's start by setting the stage. According to the US Food and Drug Administration, GMOs are plants, animals, and microorganisms whose DNA had been modified using genetic engineering. Mr. Peace, you believe GMOs are harmful. Why is that?
Yes, Dr. Green. I believe GMOs pose risks we don't fully understand yet. While they've been around since the 90s, we lack comprehensive knowledge about their long-term health effects. I think we're just better off trusting nature's balance.
Interesting point. But did you know that studies suggest otherwise? For instance, the FDA published a comprehensive report in July 2024 affirming that GMOs are safe for human consumption and nutritionally comparable to non-GMO foods.
But can we really trust this research, Dr. Green? Many biotech companies like Monsanto stand to profit immensely from GMOs. It's hard not to be skeptical when the people funding the research are also selling the products. Plus, there's the impact on traditional farming practices. Indigenous communities, for example, have seen their food sovereignty eroded by industrialized farming. Small farmers too face financial stress due to patented GMO seeds and legal battles over accidental cross-pollination.
You are raising valid concern. The role of corporate influence is something we must acknowledge. But did you know there are also numerous independent studies supporting the safety of GMOs? In the non-GMO project, they are suggesting many ideas. Could it be that misinformation and a lack of understanding fuel much of the resistance to GMOs?
I wouldn't say it's just misinformation. A big issue is the lack of transparency. GMO products are often not clearly labeled, leaving consumers unaware of what they're eating. People have the right to know and make informed choices.
A fair point, but wouldn't labeling GMOs as different just increase the public fear? Even if the science shows no harm, shouldn't we focus on educating the consumers rather than alarming them?
It's not just about health though. GMOs have significant environmental impacts. For example, GMO crops often require herbicides which harm biodiversity. They also contribute to the rise of herbicide-resistant superweeds.
That is true for some first-generation GMOs, but technology has evolved. Like you said earlier, GMOs have been on the market since the 90s. So, some newer GMOs are pest-resistant without needing chemicals input, reducing the environmental footprint.
Even so, I think we should focus on organic and regenerative farming methods. Nature has its own way of balancing ecosystems, and interfering often leads to unforeseen disasters.
Organic farming is valuable, Mr. Peace, but can it realistically scale to feed a growing global population? GMOs could be part of the solution if used responsibly. Well, that is all the time we have today. Thank you, Mr. Peace, for joining me. And
Yes.
let's keep the dialogue open and going.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Green. I've learned a lot from our discussion. Uh, while I still believe in the importance of transparency and food labeling, I'll admit you've given me a lot to think about. I might just do some more research.
Thank you for choosing the Green Scene podcast.